Shocking. What factors could ruin Princess Leonor and Prince Christian's wedding crown heartbreak? The world expects a fairy tale. A royal wedding. A union between Princess Leonor of Spain and Prince Christian of Denmark. The perfect match. The perfect story. But here's the shocking truth. Not every royal love story ends with a crown and a kiss. Because beneath the romance lies danger, pressure, politics, and forces powerful enough to break even the strongest royal bond. And what if I told you that Leonor and Christian's wedding could still be ruined? Let's uncover why. The first factor is tradition itself. Both Spain and Denmark are steeped in centuries of royal customs. Leonor, heir to the Spanish throne, cannot simply marry for love alone. Every move she makes is judged by the monarchy, the government, and her people. A misstep in her choice of spouse could trigger political waves, sparking discontent and shaking public confidence in the crown. The same is true for Christian. He is not just a young man in love, he is the future of Denmark's monarchy. Together, their love story may look romantic, but it is also a chessboard where duty outweighs desire. Now pause for a moment and imagine the pressure. Two teenagers, born into privilege, raised under scrutiny, and now told that their love must also serve as diplomacy. Can love survive when it becomes a symbol of nations? The second factor is the weight of family expectations. Queen Letizia of Spain has always been protective of her daughters, Leonor and Sofia. She knows the toll monarchy takes, and she has worked tirelessly to shield them from unnecessary pressure. Will she truly embrace the idea of Leonor tying her life to Denmark? Will she accept her daughter being pulled further from Spain's center of power? These are questions Spanish insiders whisper. And what about Denmark? Queen Mary and Crown Prince Frederik have carefully raised Christian under the gaze of an adoring public. They, too, must weigh whether this marriage strengthens Denmark or complicates it. Royals do not marry in a vacuum. They marry for love, yes, but also for politics, diplomacy, and national image. The third factor is the clash of cultures. Spain and Denmark may share European ties, but they are worlds apart in language, tradition, and royal protocol. Leonor, shaped by Spain's strict constitutional monarchy, is expected to embody formality and duty. Christian, raised in a more relaxed Danish monarchy, lives in a system where royals are seen as approachable and close to the people. Could these differences in upbringing eventually create friction? Could expectations on how a king and queen should behave lead to cracks in their union? And here's where the story deepens. Because beyond culture lies the storm of public opinion. In Spain, Princess Leonor is adored by many, yet constantly criticized by others. Every dress, every smile, every word she speaks becomes a headline. Christian faces the same in Denmark. If they marry, the media will not double but multiply in intensity. Every argument, every cold glance, every private struggle could be exaggerated into a scandal. For two young royals, love under a microscope can turn into a prison. The fourth factor is timing. Leonor is only 19, Christian is the same age. Both are still shaping their futures, still learning who they are outside their crowns. Marrying too soon may trap them in a destiny they are not yet ready to live. Royal history is full of unions that crumbled because the couple was too young, too pressured, too unprepared for the reality of marriage under a throne. Could Leonor and Christian repeat history if the wedding comes before they are ready? The fifth factor, perhaps the most dangerous of all, is politics. Spain today is fragile. The monarchy itself has been questioned in recent years. Anti-monarchist movements grow louder. Leonor represents the crown's survival. If she marries into Denmark, will Spaniards feel their queen is too foreign, too distant, too tied to another nation? Could political rivals use her marriage to weaken support for the monarchy at home? And Denmark has its own concerns. While the monarchy is popular, it too depends on public approval. Would Christian's bond to Spain strengthen his reign, or tie him to controversies he cannot control? This leads us to the next loop of curiosity. What if their marriage divides rather than unites? Imagine protests in Spain, saying Leonor abandoned her people. Imagine whispers in Denmark, warning that Christian married into scandal. Could this fairy tale turn into fuel for Republicans in both countries? Let's look at history. Royal marriages have always been fragile. Think of Charles and Diana. A wedding that dazzled the world, but ended in heartbreak and scandal. Think of marriages arranged for politics, that collapsed under personal misery. What makes Leonor and Christian different? Or are they destined to walk the same painful path? Another factor is jealousy and rivalry within the royal courts themselves. Not everyone in Spain's palace or Denmark's court will welcome such a powerful union. There will be advisors, relatives, even royals who see danger in this marriage. Their whispers, their resistance, their doubts could poison the happiness of Leonor and Christian. Because in monarchy, enemies rarely attack from the outside. The danger is within the palace walls. The seventh factor is freedom. Can two young royals, both heirs to their nations, truly have freedom in marriage? Every decision, where to live, what language to raise their children in, which country to prioritize, becomes political. Will Leonor sacrifice her life in Spain for Denmark? Or will Christian be forced into Spain's orbit? Someone will compromise. And compromise, in time, can become resentment. And here's the deepest question of all: can love survive when it is bound to a crown? Leonor and Christian's bond may be genuine. They may adore one another. But their wedding, if it comes, is not just about two people. It is about Spain, about Denmark, about Europe, about monarchy itself. Now imagine the wedding day. The world watching, millions cheering, the couple smiling. Yet behind those smiles, whispers of doubt. Can they withstand the storms ahead? Or will history repeat itself, turning a dream into disaster? This is the tension that keeps royal fans awake at night. The fear that what seems perfect could crumble. That a wedding celebrated as the fairy tale of the century could become the tragedy of the decade. And yet, this is also what makes their love so captivating. Because if Leonor and Christian overcome these obstacles, if they marry and thrive, it will not just be a royal wedding. It will be proof that love can survive politics, pressure, and power. Proof that two young heirs can defy history and carve their own path. But for now, the factors remain: tradition, family, culture, media, timing, politics, rivals, freedom, each one powerful enough to ruin their wedding. Each one a shadow over their future. The fairy tale is not guaranteed. The crown does not protect love. And the world will be watching every step, every choice, every heartbeat of Leonor and Christian's journey. Because the question is not just, will they marry? The real question is, will they last? And that is the story yet to be written.